but it sounds like Seamonator. Like they took like Terminator and they put Seamo at the beginning. Seamonator.
Shimoneta. I am the Shimoneta. I'll be back.
Excuse me, Masen.
Welcome to another episode of the Excuse Me Masen podcast. I'm your host Saul, and joining me today is Scoey once again.
Hello.
How's it going, bro?
Hello.
Hage. What does Hage mean?
Hage? The Hage that I know is like bald. Yeah.
What about Washi?
Washi. Washi is the eagle.
If Hage is bald and Washi is eagle, then what is Hage+Washi?
Hage+Washi. Bald eagle.
That's what you would think, right?
Yeah.
But it's not.
Hit me.
Hage+Washi means vulture.
What the freak? Oh, yeah.
All right, so the first word we have today is pot or potto. What comes to your mind? What comes to your American mind when you hear that potto?
You want some pot, bro? No, but yeah, I think of a pot.
That reminds me, like, you know the band Nickelback, right?
Yeah.
Like the first time I heard their name Nickelback, I thought it was called Nickelbag, and I thought it was about weed. If you're not thinking about that kind of pot, then what other pot are you thinking of when you think of pot?
Pot, like, teapot or...
So you actually think of a teapot?
Well, maybe my mind is just already like Japanesed out already, but...
Yeah. The Japanese term potto comes from the English pot, which traces back to Old English pot, as in P-O-T-T, Old French pot, which is also P-O-T, and late Latin potus, or P-O-T-T-U-S, meaning drinking vessel. Traditionally, yakang was Japan's standard stovetop kettle, but as technology advanced, electric water dispensers with heating and insulation functions became more common. Potto was adopted to describe these devices, offering convenience that suited modern, fast-paced lifestyles. This led to a decline in yakan usage, especially among younger generations. While borrowed from English, potto in Japanese specifically refers to electric kettles or hot water dispensers, differing from British and American English, where pot typically means a cooking vessel.
Cooking vessel, I love it. I love it.
So it doesn't say, like, since it's not British and it's not American, my guess is they got it from teapot, and then they just took out the T and just called it pot. That's my guess.
Okay.
We actually call it a kettle, right? A
kettle,
tea kettle.
Yeah.
Where we're from. So I wouldn't even call it a teapot ever.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I think of teapot, like for me, it's like the serving.
Like nice pot, and
not
like
the
nice
one
designed one.
Yeah. The one that you don't actually cook the water in, right?
No, yeah. Like nice, and you're like, here's your tea.
Yeah. That's the one that I think of.
Yeah.
But then, since we're talking about like stuff that makes water hot, do you own those electric kettles, the one that just sits on your table?
I have that, but I don't use it right now. But yeah, I have that one. And the one that you put, and then you push the button and you wait like a minute.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy convenient.
You love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. When my wife was pregnant with our second kid, I bought the 4 liter. 4 liter. That's a gallon. So I bought the full gallon size one, and it's the one that you can put the water in and you can just leave it like forever, basically. And then it eats like very little energy. And then you can just get, you want to make your instant ramen or whatever. You can set the temperature between I think it's like 70 to 90 degrees. If it's 70, it's like you're just going to be drinking, like warm tea or whatever. And you set it to 90 when you want to actually be cooking stuff or like heating up like ramen, the instant ramen.
What brand is the one that you have?
The one I have is the Zojirushi.
Oh, okay. So you got a super quality one, huh?
Yeah, to me, that's the correct one.
yes, gotta be that one.
By the way, if you're listening and you know about these Japanese brands and you don't know the name of Zojirushi, it's the one with the elephant on it.
Yeah.
If you live outside of Japan and you don't have one of those, man, get one. You can just let that sit in your house all the time. You just got to make sure you get the one that has the correct voltage because it'll like burn out your socket or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So the next one's actually connected directly to your line of work.
Me?
And that's, reform or reform as we know it. But like, when I think of the word reform, I think of like, I'm a drug addict and I need to stop taking drugs. So I need to reform. I need to change. I need to get better.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of reform. Let me get into the definition that's dealing with how Japanese people use it. And then maybe we can talk about it after.
Let's do it.
So in Japan, the term reformu or reform is derived from the English word reform. And it's commonly used to mean renovate or remodel in the context of buildings. While reform in English typically refers to changes in laws or systems, in Japanese, reformu specifically relates to home or building renovations. For instance, phrases like ie o reformu suru translates to renovate a house. This linguistic adaptation reflects Japan's integration of foreign terms to describe modern concepts and practices. You told me before that you actually deformed parts of your house, right?
I did, yeah. And not only that, but even just like at normal construction sites that I've done before in the past.
So you guys fix up old buildings too in your work?
Yeah, we do anything, everything.
Or whatever you can get.
Yeah, whatever customer says, we want to break our porch and make another room or whatever, then we'll reform that and
like a remodel?
Yeah, we'll remodel it. Whatever. Yeah, anything. We do all of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Reform.
What do you charge if it's just like somebody asking you to do it?
Me? Like,
yeah.
If you're like
a friend or something.
Like if you were like, yo, bro, can you like? It depends what you want me to make, and because wood is expensive, so depending if you want like a freaking like a nice shelf or something, then shit, man.
No, I mean like, for example, if I'm gonna pay for all the materials and then I just pay you for your service, like what would you charge per hour?
I would just say like I'm $200 a day. I'm not like super high levels like carpenter, but I mean like in my position right now at work, it's like they would say like 180 to 200.
That's actually not bad. And since we're talking about deform or renovate, this building that I'm living in right now, like it's probably like almost 40 years old, I'm guessing. But anyways, like when we first moved here, the windows were single pane and we live right along the highway. Oh. So if somebody honks their horn, it's like sounds like it's right outside your door. Like it was crazy loud. Like it's hard to sleep at night. But I think something like maybe like 6 years ago, they
renovated it.
Deformed it. Renovated it. Now everything is that double pane, like
get the devil
soundproof glass.
Yeah,
they call it soundproof, but like the wall itself is not even soundproof because like I can hear when like race cars like drive by at night. You can hear like Lamborghinis when they like rev the pedal.
Yeah. And it's also I was gonna say splatter.
Splatoon.
Splatter resistant. No, it's crack. Like, is it the one where you can see like super thin like wires in there to prevent glass bursts or shatters?
Yeah, even like when we had this like super strong typhoon, the old window or the sliding door window, like when the typhoon came, like whenever the wind like had a gust, like you would see the frame of it like bend like inward and outward, like it's breathing.
Yeah,
man, it was freaking scary.
That's crazy.
But now we got the YKK legit one, bro.
YKK, yeah, the orange logo, YKK.
The zippers, bro, the zippers.
Yeah. Yeah, you got something pretty like a good buy. Like if it's clothes and it says YKK on it, you're like, oh hell yeah, this is quality right here.
So the next one we have is actually from episode 14 about onomatopoeia, where me and Devin were talking about like the different sounds that turn into words in Japan. He introduced this word to me during that episode, and that word is NEET, or pronounced in Japan, Nito. Of course, if I hear the word neat, I think of like tidy, like cleaned up, or like, oh, that's pretty neat. Like, like
same,
cool or
same.
something like that.
Mhm.
The Japanese term NEETO comes from the English acronym NEET, NEET, meaning not in education, employment, or training. First used in the UK in the late 1990s to describe unemployed youth from 16 to 24 years old, not in school or job training. Japan adopted it in the early 2000s, expanding it to ages 15 to 34 to describe those neither working, studying, nor actively seeking employment. In American English, neat sounds identical to neat, but has completely different meanings. One of the meanings is tidy or organized, as in his desk is neat. The other one is cool or impressive, as in that's a neat trick. And the other one is straight for alcohol. For example, whiskey neat, please. This phonetic similarity can cause confusion as neat has positive or neutral meanings in English, while neeto carries negative connotations in Japan, often linked to social withdrawal and lack of motivation. So neeto is pretty much bad here.
Yeah. 彼はニートだからね。
The next word we have is Yankee.
I love the Yankees, bruh.
Yeah, right. You should just think of right here.
Yo, yeah,
Kaboom,
right there.
right there. When I think of Yankee, I think of this right here.
Yeah.
I think of somebody who plays on the team.
True.
I also think of Yankee Doodle went to town. Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let him know, man. Let him know.
So in Japan, Yankee refers to delinquent youth, often recognized by their rebellious behavior, modified school uniforms, and distinct hairstyles. The term was adopted post-World War II as Japanese youth imitated American culture, but over time it shifted to describe gang-like high school dropouts and troublemakers. In the US, Yankee historically referred to Northerners during the Civil War, particularly Union soldiers. In New England, it describes residents with colonial roots associated with frugality and ingenuity. The word's origins are debated. One theory traces it to Dutch Jankies, used for English colonists, while another links it to the Cherokee Eanke, meaning coward or slave. So that's weird. Like even the English word Yankee, they're not sure where it comes from.
It's strange how they just make these things up. So, well, let's use this for delinquents. We call them Yankees.
Yeah. But I wonder why they took that word to mean delinquent youth. Like why?
That's weird.
It just says that they imitated American culture.
True.
But did they mean it after the baseball team?
Yeah, I know.
Or
right?
was it like a rebellious, super studious student who was like, oh, cool, in the Civil War, the Northerners were called Yankees. I'm going to take that. I'm going to make my own group of troublemakers.
I know, right?
I don't think it was that.
No.
See, if you're listening to this episode and you happen to be Japanese and you know, please let me know. Message me or something. Tell me somehow.
Yeah.
And I'll tell the people in a future episode.
Mm-hmm. Hit him up. The Yankees, yeah. People you can see where they used to have the funky hairs that go like this, and they had like super
like Johnny Bravo, right?
Bravo type of hair, and then they'll shave their eyebrows to make it look like sharp as, or they even like just shave their eyebrows off and wear these super skinny ass like shades. They ride their motorcycles that like they can like do weird noises with the acceleration, just going. I'm like, yeah, and they just customize their bikes where the higher the chair, the more cooler they are. Dude,
you can still see them at Yoyogi Park.
Oh, and,
yeah. If you go to Yoyogi Park, they'll like every once in a while they'll have like
their get together
gathering there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a bunch of them, and they'll just be doing like some kind of like 1960s or 1950s like dance.
Dude, I was on my way back home one day, or no, we were leaving. I was with my family, and we're driving and we were on the freeway, and we just heard like from behind, like just weird noises coming, and then I looked in the review mirror, and like literally, like 200 of those Yankee people. Just like 200 of them.
You.
There was so much that I had to like kind of pull to the side, and
That's
even
crazy.
behind them was like 4 or 5 police cars. I mean, not with the sirens on, but just like gonna follow these guys to see if they're not gonna do anything stupid. That was crazy. I have it on video. Maybe I'll send it to you next time if I find it. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. So the next one is Fudo Fighto. Or food fight.
I heard of it, but I don't remember.
It's okay. Like, what do you think of as an American when you think of food fight?
And we're in the cafeteria and one guy goes, food fight!
Yeah, right? Then just start throwing sloppy joes and whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's on this list because the meaning that they use in Japan is different. But let me talk about it.
Yeah.
In Japan, the term fudo fighto, borrowed from the English food fight, refers to competitive eating contests where participants consume large quantities of food within a set time. This concept gained popularity through various media, notably the 2000 Japanese television drama Fudo Fighto, the same name, starring Tsuyoshi Kusanagi, which depicted underground eating competitions. In contrast, in English-speaking countries, a food fight typically describes a chaotic scenario where people playfully throw food at each other, often in settings like school cafeterias, which is what we just said. And that reminds me of, like, remember in the previous episode we talked about Ittekyu?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like there's this one guy, his name is Daisuke Miyagawa.
Yeah,
and he wears those thick plastic glasses. So he likes to join eating contests like in different countries, since Ittekyu is about going to different countries.
Yeah.
And the two that I remember the most is like one where they went to some like South American country, and then he joined a banana eating contest.
Oh.
So he's just like, wah, 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 wah. And then he's known for vomiting at the end. Like, every time.
Always.
Like, wah. And then
yeah.
they'll like cover up his vomit with some kind of like censorship that's like makes it funny, right?
Yeah, like stars or like a rainbow or like
yeah, like a rainbow from like you would imagine like those Cartoon Network cartoons.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one that I saw was bacon. I think it was Canada. It might not have been Canada, but I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Where he had to like put his hands behind his back and he's standing up and he has to lean forward and then try to eat all the bacon with only his mouth. And I think he got like third or fourth place. I don't remember exactly.
Wow, that's pretty good for him because he never usually like gets to any like a good rank or like any place.
Yeah.
Like, he does his best, but he always loses.
Yeah. Dude, have you ever joined an eating contest in Japan?
No.
Yeah.
But have you ever joined any contest or food fight? Like, I mean, not only regarding food, but like any contest of some sort.
Aside from like helping my kids like do their
school thingy.
Sports festival.
Okay.
Like I did the relay race.
Yeah.
A couple of times. And we did the tug of war.
Yeah, okay.
But regarding to food, actually, when I was 16 or 17, I came to Japan with the Japanese 3 class. And then on the first night, we went to Cocoichi.
Oh,
and that was the first time I've ever been to Cocoichi in my life. And I was like, oh my God, this stuff is so good. And I ate probably like 3 or 4 plates of like the biggest size that they had. And then when we were walking out, the staff said something to my teacher.
Yeah.
And then when he came out, he said, the staff said that if you had joined, they have this contest that's going on right now where if you can eat like, I think it was like 3 plates of the largest one that they have within like a set period of time, they'll take your picture and put it on the wall.
Oh,
but you didn't join, so they didn't do that for you. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh my God, wow.
I wish I would have done that.
I know, right?
Okay, so the next one we have is movie.
Movie.
Movie. So obviously, if you think of movie, you think of
a movie.
Yeah, like an hour and 30 minutes to longer, right?
Yeah.
That you're going to sit down and watch a film.
Yeah, like a film.
But I learned recently that the meaning is not 100% different, but it's like enough to where I put it on this list. So let me just explain. So in Japan, the term movie, borrowed from the English movie, primarily refers to short digital videos, such as those found on smartphones, social media, or online platforms. The more commonly used Japanese word for videos, including online clips, is doga. In contrast, eiga is the standard Japanese term for full-length films typically shown in cinemas. In English-speaking countries, movie refers to any motion picture, whether in theaters or at home. The equivalent term for movie in English is video, which is used for short clips, online content, or home recordings. Is there a movie? No. Is there an eiga? Is there a movie, like a legit movie like from Japan that you actually like enjoy?
the ones that I liked before was that one, Outrage, the one that they call Outrage. It's about like mafias and stuff like that. There's another one called Crows, and it's about
Crows.
Yankees and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I like those. Yeah, when the Japanese, play like as mafias and Yankees, because it's so legit. Like, it's super real. Like,
Yeah. But since you're talking about mafia, bro, me and our mutual friend Jay, we were at this hotel called Mariana's Resort, and they have like this spa there called Mandy Asian Spa. And then, of course,
Yeah.
we were sitting down at the cafe thing there, and then this like huge guy with full on tattoos all over his body comes and sits down like near us. I'm not sure if it was me or Jay, but we were like, "Oh man, nice tattoos, kakkoi, cool."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, arigato." And then he buys us beers. So
Ooh.
we're like, "Oh, cool, beers." So we get the beers, and then he tells us to come sit next to him.
Oh.
So we sit next to him, we start talking to him, and he tells us that he's like the bodyguard for this like some like crazy high level yak. And
Yeah.
that guy is like doing like a spa or something like right now. So he's on his break because he has like 2 or 3 bodyguards with him all the time. So that one guy was on his break.
Yeah.
So he's telling us about it. He tells us that he likes MMA.
Oh.
And then Jay's like, "Oh yeah, I do MMA." And then they start talking about like the famous MMA fighters.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, right?
Yeah.
But then he goes, "Oh, there's this guy named Masaki or whatever, Misaki." And then talking about like if he was to fight Misaki, like Jay was saying like, "Oh, he's gonna beat me. I'm gonna lose right away." Like, being humble.
Yeah.
And then the yak says in Japanese, translated to English, he goes, "If that guy comes to me, I'm gonna go." So me and Jay are just like, "Holy cow, man! This guy has no like filter. Like he's just straight up. I'm gonna shoot the guy."
If he tries anything, just.
So right there, me and him were just like kind of shocked, like how real he did it. It's like like the way the kickback is. It's just like, whoa, this guy knows his stuff, man.
Crazy, man. But yeah, any favorite movies you like?
Actually, only one that I can recall. I'm pretty sure there's more that I like, but the one that I like the most is called Kyofu Shimbun, which means newspaper of terror. Yeah, it's basically like some people in the world will get tomorrow's copy of the newspaper today. The headline will be like somebody's gonna die, or a group of people are gonna die, or like an airplane's gonna crash or whatever. And then what ends up happening is like the person who reads the newspaper tries to save those people, but then everybody thinks they're crazy. And then almost everybody who's ever received that newspaper ends up in the loony bin. Yeah, it was pretty interesting though, from what I remember.
Wow. Joke. I got a joke. What is black and white and red all over?
The
red all
newspaper,
around.
Man. That one's super old. Here's one. I gave you this one earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
What do you call a fat psychic?
Okay. I don't remember.
A fortune teller.
Fortune teller.
I got that one from this YouTube channel that I like to watch. So the next one we have is Pierce or Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah, when I tell you Pierce, what do you think of? In what does your American mind think of?
To impale, not impale, but like to to puncture a hole,
to
or
penetrate.
Something. To
puncture a hole. Yeah,
to puncture a hole.
Yeah,
or
that makes sense.
Something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why that's on on this list is because it doesn't mean that here.
But it doesn't mean that here at all.
This is what it means here. In Japan, the term piasu, derived from the English pierce, refers specifically to earrings for pierced ears. In contrast, iaringu, borrowed from earring, generally refers to non-pierced earrings, such as clip-ons or screwback styles. However, in some cases, it can be used more broadly to refer to all types of earrings, depending on the context. This distinction highlights how piasu and iaringu in Japanese have developed more specific meanings, whereas earring in English remains an all-encompassing term.
Nice PS.
Yeah, it's like nice hole in your ear.
Yeah. No, yeah.
No, but you got piercings, right? Oh, you remember you used to have that like huge one.
Yeah, I used to have a big ass hole in my ear, and I also pierced my private.
Yeah, I actually got one piercing though in Japan.
Ooh.
So I went to some shop that had like those little piercing gun thingies. They're like super small. And I asked the guy, cause like, can I buy this? And he goes like, yeah, but he asked me for some kind of ID. And I was like, what do you mean ID? And then the person I was with said, you cannot just do this by yourself. You have to take it to like a clinic or like a tattoo parlor or whatever. And they're going to do it for you. I just told the guy and I went like this. I was like, no. Me, hotel. He's like, okay. So he just sold it to me.
Oh.
And then we went back to the hotel. One of the your skate crew, Bill.
Ripple.
Yeah, Bill Ripple. He was with me at the time and I was trying to measure where I'm going to do it. And he goes, just let me do it. I was like, okay. So we're in the hotel room and he just like, squeezes the thing. And
Bill, did your ear?
Man, it was one of the most painful things I ever felt. I forgot that you have to buy the super thin gauged one, right? I bought just like some random one.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Turned out to be a pretty thick one.
Holy crap.
So when it cut through my ear, man, it felt like somebody took a knife and just went, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I still have that hole on my ear. So
oh yeah. Oh my
good
God.
memory. The next one we have is ping pong or ping pong. In Japan, the term ping pong is widely recognized as an onomatopoeic expression commonly associated with doorbell sounds or as an exclamation for correct answers, similar to ding dong in English. While takyu is the official term for table tennis, many Japanese people do not realize that ping pong is the English name for the sport. In English, ping pong originated in 19th century England as an onomatopoeic representation of the sound made during early table tennis play. The game, initially a parlor pastime, had various names including Whiff Waff. In 1901, British company J. Jakes and Son Limited trademarked ping pong for their branded version of the game, later selling the trademark to Parker Brothers in the United States. To avoid trademark conflicts, table tennis became the official sport name. Interestingly, the Chinese term ping pang cho was adopted from English ping pong when the sport gained popularity in China in the early 20th century. So, yeah, ping pong is a doorbell sound in Japan. And it's also when you get an answer correct, they're like ping pong instead of ding dong.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is the reason why they use ping pong for that instead of ding dong is probably because of the pitch. That's my guess.
Oh, makes sense.
Because the American one that I remember from like movies and stuff is like deeper, right? It's like ding dong.
Yeah.
But then the ones in Japan, it's really like high, right?
Yeah. Bing bong. Yeah. It is true.
There's a lot of Japanese people who, of course, know that the name of the sport is also ping pong. It's just that they don't use, that's not the first thing that pops in their head when they think of the sport. They think of takyu, right? Takyu very much.
Takyu.
Takyu too, bro.
Takyu.
Goofs. We're just a bunch of goofs. All right, so the next one we have is bodyline, as in bodyline. What do you think of when that word pops in your head?
Bodyline. Your shape of your body?
Body shape. Okay. So in Japan, the term bodyline, borrowed from the English bodyline, refers to the contours or silhouette of one's body, emphasizing shape and form, especially in fashion and fitness contexts. In contrast, in English, the phrase bodyline is not used to describe the human figure. Instead, terms like figure or physique are prevalent. This discrepancy can lead to confusion for English speakers encountering bodyline in Japanese contexts, as they might interpret it literally or be unfamiliar with its intended meaning. So yeah, bodyline pretty much just means the silhouette or your physique. And I never really understood it when people say like to me, because whenever people say bodyline to me, I would just be like, can you explain what that means? Because I'm thinking of like, which line?
Yeah.
Is it like this line?
Yeah. Okay.
This line?
Yeah. You have so many body lines.
But in researching this, I finally figured out it's like your physique in general.
Physique.
Not the actual, they're not referring to a specific line.
Yeah, it's just, your structure, your whole body structure.
Wine your body.
Yeah, man, wine your body, man.
So the next one we have is actually not Japlish, but I wanted to add it because I like it.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I learned and I thought it was pretty funny at the time. But the next one is birupara.
Birupara. What is that?
Let me explain then. Or let me ask you, if I tell you birupara, what comes into your head?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, so let me explain the thing then. In Japan, the term biru para, derived from the English beer belly, colloquially refers to a protruding abdomen often associated with excessive beer consumption. This expression combines biru and hara with a phonetic alteration from hara to para for emphasis. In English-speaking countries, beer belly describes abdominal weight gain attributed to frequent beer drinking. However, studies suggest that the accumulation of body fat, commonly referred to as a beer belly, is influenced more by overall caloric intake and lifestyle factors than beer consumption alone. So they blame it on beer, but you're just eating too much, basically. Yeah.
I see.
Man, I hope I never get a biru para.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep my fingers crossed.
Same, I know, right? Because we're going to get at that age where some part of our bodies needs to be like, sorry, bro, I'm going to have to leave you here, man. It's like, even if you're like, I'm working out every freaking day, bro. Come on, man. Or like, even if I'm running and but I still got this dad bod, bro.
I have a Japanese beer fact.
Ooh.
So I thought this was pretty
Just
interesting.
do it.
Did you know that Asahi and Sapporo were once part of the same company?
No, I did not know that.
Sapporo Breweries was founded in 1876 by the Hokkaido Development Commission, making it Japan's first major beer brand. So Sapporo was first. Asahi Breweries was founded later in 1889, originally as the Osaka Beer Brewing Company. However, in 1906, both companies, along with Nippon Brewery, were merged to form the Dai Nippon Brewery Co. Limited, creating Japan's largest beer producer at the time. This mega brewery remained intact until 1949 when it was split into two companies, Asahi Breweries Limited and Nippon Breweries Limited, which later rebranded as Sapporo Breweries Limited. The division was carried out under the orders of the Supreme Commander for the Allied Powers, also known as SCAP, a governing body responsible for post-war reforms in Japan. SCAP was led by General Douglas MacArthur, from 1945 to 1951, and later by General Matthew Ridgway from 1951 to 1952. The breakup of Dai Nippon Brewery was part of SCAP's broader efforts to dismantle monopolies, democratize Japan, and restructure the economy. Basically, Asahi and Sapporo were separate in the beginning, and then they were merged to make one massive company. And then after World War II, the US was like, we don't want anybody to get too powerful, so you guys got to split up again. And then they split them up. Instead of into three, which it was originally, they split them up, but only into two. So that third one just got dissolved into both of them. Which one is your favorite?
I would say Asahi because that's the most, I probably drank that the most. In regards to taste, I like, Kirin Ichiban and like one of, and like, what's that? Yebis?
That's also made by Sapporo.
Is it called Sapporo Ichiban?
Sapporo Ichiban. That's the ramen, bro.
Yeah, that's stupid me. I was like, it sounds familiar.
It's Sapporo Black Label.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Kuro Raberu.
Oh, yes.
That's the one with the black circle and the orange star in the middle.
Are you the kind of guy that knows, like, if you drink a beer, like, oh, this is Happoshu, or is that what they call it? Happoshu? It's like they make a fake beer, but it tastes beer beer, and you'll get drunk. Like if you say, close your eyes and try this.
If it's the Happoshu, I guess it depends because, like, for me, Happoshu has a sort of like a shochu taste.
Oh.
Like there's a flavor of shochu in there. For me, like I can kind of taste it.
Not watery?
I don't know if it's water. Yeah, it just tastes weird. It tastes different. But my wife's dad used to work for Sapporo Beer, and he would like teach me all this stuff about the different beers. And he was telling me about this thing, like this beer flavored drink mixed with shochu, and it would taste like beer when you mix them together. And he still drinks that every once in a while, just like to reminisce. Yeah, that's what those happoshu taste like to me. Like it tastes like a mixture of shochu and beer flavored.
Oh, okay.
Liquid. But my favorite beer, if you ask me, I'll always say it's Sapporo Beer.
Yeah.
Because he used to work there.
And you would always get these free beers.
Or like he used to bring back free beers. Like he'll bring like 1 or 2 or 3 cans of like this new version.
Oh, wow.
That's like about to come out. So like 2 weeks before it comes out, like we'll be able to try it.
That's cool.
Yeah, for me, it's actually a toss-up between Sapporo Kurorabelu, the black label, and the Kirin, the regular one. I don't know what the name is. It's the one in the the brown can. Or is it white? Yeah, I don't even remember. I haven't drank beer in like over a year already.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one we have is Shichuu. So in Japan, the term Shichuu, derived from the English stew, commonly refers to a white cream stew. This dish, known as cream stew, consists of meat and vegetables simmered in a creamy white sauce, often thickened with roux. It became popular in Japan during the Meiji era, which is the late 19th to early 20th century, and in 1966, House Foods released an instant cream stew mix, further cementing its place in Japan home cooking. In English-speaking countries, however, stew refers to a wide variety of slow-cooked dishes, often featuring a thick brown or reddish sauce made from meat drippings, broth, wine, or tomato-based sauces. Classic examples include beef stew, which has a deep brown gravy, and Irish stew, which uses lamb and a broth-based sauce. Unlike Shichuu in Japan, which is often assumed to be white, Western stews are typically darker in color, with the use of ingredients like browned meat, Worcestershire sauce, or tomato paste contributing to their rich appearance. And yes, it's Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
For the longest time, I was like, Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Worcestershire, and Worcestershire.
So what is it?
But like I checked, which one is it?
Yeah.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
YouTube chefs, even they like love to play around with it. You guys put some Worcestershire sauce and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Shichuu is my jam, bro. Man, that stuff is good.
I love that, bro. Hell yeah, bro.
So the next one we have is Shimoneta.
Shimoneta.
Yeah, this one's actually not Japlish, but it sounds like Seamonator. Like they took like Terminator and they put Seamo at the beginning. Seamonator.
Shimoneta. I am the Shimoneta. I'll be back.
Man, I love that movie, bro.
I love it too.
Terminator 2.
I love that movie too.
I think that's the scene when he's going down into the molten metal when they're lowering him down.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, he goes.
Yeah.
In Japan, the term Shimoneta refers to dirty jokes or erotic topics, encompassing indecent or sexually explicit humor. This term combines shimo, meaning low or vulgar, and neta, meaning material or topic. Interestingly, neta is not an English loanword, but rather a reversed reading of the Japanese word tane, meaning seed or source. This inversion turned into neta, which evolved to mean the foundational elements of content, ranging from jokes and stories in entertainment to ingredients in sushi preparation. Originally industry-specific jargon, neta has since become widely used in various fields. In English-speaking countries, the concept of dirty jokes is well understood and commonly referred to as dirty jokes or blue humor. However, the term Shimoneta gained international recognition through the 2015 anime adaptation of the novel Shimoneta toyu gainen ga sonzai shinai taikutsu na sekai, or Shimoneta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist.
Damn.
Super long title.
That's long, bro.
Set in a dystopian future, the anime depicts a strict morality law banning all lewd or obscene material. The protagonist joins a rebellious group that spreads illicit content to fight censorship. Its satirical take on free speech and sexual expression has sparked debate on government control and media regulation. I've heard people use it like when referring to a type of person or a type of content. So like if you say like, あいつは下ネタだよ. It's almost like saying that person is a perv.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But we made it to the last one.
Ooh.
Just in the nick of time because we got 2 minutes until 11.
In the nickelback of time.
The nickel bag.
The nickelback of time. Look at this photograph.
Okay, so the next one, the last one, is actually not Japanese as well, but I thought it was because of the way it sounds. So the next one is Bakyuun.
Bakyuun.
What do you think of?
I gotta vacuum my room and
In Japan, the onomatopoeic expression Bakyuun is used to represent the sound of a gunshot. especially in contexts aimed at children. The term mimics the sharp bang of a firearm and is commonly found in children's games, cartoons, and playful scenarios. Interestingly, Bakyuun phonetically resembles the English word vacuum, which can lead to amusing misunderstandings between English speakers and Japanese individuals. While an English speaker might think of a household appliance, a Japanese person could interpret Bakyuun as the sound of a toy gun or an action-packed scene. So the whole time my kids are running around the house going, Bakyuun, Bakyuun, Bakyuun,
Yeah.
Bakyuun. And every time they say that to me, I'm like, I just get the vacuum and I just give it to them.
Here you are. Here you are.
You
Yeah.
want a vacuum? Here you go.
Here you go.
And then my son, for example, was just like, no, Bakyuun, like this, Bakyuun. That's like the gaijin oyaji gyagu
Yeah.
when you live in Japan. Dad jokes for the foreign father.
Yeah.
That's it for today's episode. If you have any questions or comments, or if you'd like us to share anything on the show, just let us know on Spotify or on the website. And until next time, excuse me, Masen, and see ya.
Bakyuun.